Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wataniyat, nationalism. This is a nazm by Dr. Lama Muhammad Iqbal. Nationalism as a political concept. So Iqbal is comparing the definition that we have in politics. In political terms, the definition of nationalism or countries or and then to a definition that was given by Prophet of Islam, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, 1400 years back. Okay, and so Iqbal was a poet and a philosopher, a lawyer, a thinker, a religious person, and a man of heart. Okay, not a man of intellect. And intellect, and so he wrote this nazm in, I would say, before 1912. So this book was published in 1912. So this nazm is, he wrote before that time. Please correct me if I'm making a mistake here. So let's read this nazm together and then try to compare it with our current times. इस दौर में मैं और है जाम और है जम और साकीने बिना की रविशे लुत्फ़ो सितम और. So we all human beings are being deceived by this current age. Okay, we, the ones that are living in present times, we are being deceived by our current age, by our own people, our own influentials. So how they are deceiving us? Basically they are offering us, or this current age is offering us, a wine. Okay, and that wine is in a bottle, and then there's a label outside this bottle. But the problem is that the wine is not the original wine that they are giving us, and even the bottle is not the original bottle. Okay, and then the label is misleading, it's deceiving, it's fake label. So they have something else in there and the label says something else. Okay, so that's how we are all being deceived. Okay, Muslim ne bhi ta'mir kiya apna haram aur. Then Iqbal turns to Muslims, that those who call themselves Muslims, they are also, so when we hear or when we talk about Muslims, so we know that Muslims, us, we basically pray towards Kaaba. So there is a black building in Makkah Mukarramah, and so we all Muslims pray towards that. But Iqbal says that even Muslims of today have built a secretly, or rather openly, they have built another haram for themselves. Okay, he'll talk about it in a minute. And Tehzeeb ki Azar ne turshwaye sanam aur. Okay, so we all know about Prophet Ibrahim, peace and blessings be upon him, and then we know his father Azar as well. So Azar used to build idols, statues, and then his society used to worship those idols. Okay, and then his son Ibrahim, he stood up against his own father and against his society, that these idols are not, we are not meant to worship those idols, we are not meant to worship statues, be the physical ones or the ones that are in our minds. Okay, so but so nowadays we don't have, Azar is not around, but the culture, the term culture that we use, our civilization, so Azar is replaced with culture. Okay, so our culture has built idols for us, our culture builds statues for us that we worship. Okay, एंड इन ताज़ा खुदाओं में बड़ा सबसे वतन है, जो पैराहन उसका है वो मज़हब का कफन है. So these cultures, the culture and civilization and all these, they have built idols for us. For example, going back to my favorite topic, casteism. Okay, so this is just one example. Okay, there are plenty that I can give, and I have talked about in other videos. So they are all very beautiful idols that we worship day and night, especially when you have to marry someone, when we have to marry our daughters and sons, we make sure that they all bow before this idol. But the tallest one and the brightest and the most easily recognized, right in the middle of the society, every person has to like bow before this idol, before like doing anything, and that idol is nationalism. Okay, जो पैरहन इसका है वो मजहब का कफन है. This nationalism idol, it has a beautiful dress on it, and this dress is basically kafan of religion. Okay, religion is buried, there is a grave, and we have put religion into that grave, wrapped in this dress that nationalism has on it. ये बुत की तराशीदा तहजीब नबी है. This Buddha is created by the current age, starting from 20th century, you can say. And then Gharat Gare ka Shana Deen Nabawi hai. For us Muslims, we were given a tent. Prophet of Islam, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he built a tent for us. Okay, and that tent was spacious enough, wide enough, and there was plenty of shade and shelter, protection within that tent for all of us, for all human beings. The purpose was to have all of us, inside that tent, okay, peacefully and connected to one another, helping out each other, living in harmony with love and care and all that. So there was this tent built by Prophet of Islam. But this Buddha, the nationalism, when you place this Buddha in right in the middle of a society, there is no room for that tent left. Okay, so that tent is basically unpacked, it's ruptured, it's lying on the ground. Okay, we see it every day in our society. बाजू तेरा तौहीद की कुव्वत से कवी है, इस्लाम तेरा देश है तो मुस्तफवी है. Then Iqbal reminds, he's trying to remind, he is not, I don't think he was successful, unfortunately. He's trying to remind us that, we are believers, okay? There are believers in this world, okay? You may be surprised to hear this, but there are believers. And they believe in the oneness of Creator, okay? There are many believers actually, in true sense, okay? And then they believe in oneness of the Creator, and also in the oneness of creation. They believe in humanity. They believe that humanity is like a structure, like a single structure. If you make a cut on this body, the body feels it. All human beings feel it, okay? So, so Iqbal is trying to remind us that, you have this strength, okay? You have this strength of this oneness in you. So, and Islam tera desh hai. So, the definition of nationalism and the countries that come with this, for you, Islam is your definition. It's your nationalism. It's your pehchan, okay? It's your desh. Because you are follower of Prophet of Islam, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And, so this is this tent. Islam is basically the tent. And then you have to come back to this tent, okay? Nazare derina zamane ko dikha de, e Mustafavi khak mein is butt ko mila de. So, come back to this original tent, okay? Come back to the original tent and show this current age what, this tent was all about, okay? What was it like to be in the tent, in the shadow of this tent? And how you're connected to all human beings, okay? Show it to humanity, okay? And this Buddha, this nationalism, this nationalistic Buddha that has cut this tent into pieces, get rid of this idol, this statue, okay, from your society. First from within you, from your mind, okay? And then stop believing in it, and then eventually from your society as well. Ho qaid muqami to natija hai tabahi. Why? Because if you group human beings into like local groups, if you localize human beings and then you give them this, then there are others, and the others are different, they look different, their religion is different, they practice different things. So when there are others and then you, so this can lead to destruction of humanity. Okay, so you are being warned. Reh bahar mein azad watan surat mahi. So don't localize human beings. Okay, live like a fish lives in a sea. Okay, so there is this whole vast sea, and a fish can swim, in any part of that sea wherever it wants to. So Allah's zameen, Allah's earth is spacious enough, and there will be space for you where you can go and practice whatever you want to practice. Okay, so do that. Be the followers of prophets. Okay, we hear about prophethood, about nabuwwat, and about everything, but the things that we do in the name of nabuwwat are against nabuwwat. Basically, this is nabuwwat. This is the tradition of nabuwwat. If things are not right for you, migrate from that place. गुफ्तार सियासत में वतन और ही कुछ है, अरशाद नबूवत में वतन और ही कुछ है. So Iqbal tried to give you a glimpse of what nationalism is from the sayings of Prophet of Islam and the way he behaved, and other prophets, how they behaved. Okay, so he tried to give you a glimpse. Now compare it with this definition that you have in the current age. Is there any comparison? Which one is better? Okay, have a unplug yourself first from your whatever conditioning this society has, or this age has, it has conditioned you. So try to unplug yourself and then compare these two definitions. Which one is good? Which one is good for all human beings? Okay, अक़वाम जहाँ में है रकाबत तो इसी से, तस्खीर है मकसूद तजारत तो इसी से. Then Iqbal warns us of the dangers of this nationalism, that and now in current age today, countries are fighting against each other. There is an animosity between countries. Okay, take any two countries. Okay, there are groups being formed, and those groups and people are they are taking sides, like firm sides, that can result in a clash, which can be very destructive for the entire humanity. Okay, so all this comes from those national interests that are linked to nationalism. Okay, all these talks of trade, and this trade is again to win basically over others. Okay, खाली है सदाकत से सियासत तो इसी से. Why politics and politicians are cursed? In every country, wherever you go, people are not satisfied with politicians because the truth does not come out of their mouth. And why it does not come out of their mouth? Because they are the followers of this idol, this Buddha. And kamzor ka ghar hota hai gharat to isi se. And if poor are, their lives have been made miserable in this current time. Look at our society. There was this one girl named Farishta, that means angel in English. So she was 10 years old, living in Islamabad, and she was raped. Okay, during the month of Ramadan, the holiest month for Muslims. She was raped, brutally raped, and killed. And then her father goes to the police station to register a FIR, and the police does not cooperate. Okay, they ask, like, embarrassing. They embarrass him, with the kind of questions that they ask. They make him clean the police station. Okay, so why all this? Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this to poor people? Because we believe in this, whatever comes with nationalism and that casteism. We believe in caste system. So these are all linked. So this is the big Buddha, and then there are other Buddhas that culture has, built for us. So it's all this mentality, us versus them, superior versus inferior. Okay, so that's the mentality, and this mentality comes from nationalism. Okay. अक़वाम में मखलूक़ खुदा बढ़ती है इससे, कौमियत इस्लाम की जड़ कटती है इससे. So humanity is one structure. Okay, all human beings are one. Okay, this is the saying of Prophet of Islam. Okay, all human beings are one. So, but if you, so what cuts through this humanity? Why we are so, we don't have any respect. There is loss of life. There are poor people. They are being traumatized every single day, and then, but we are good because we have enough to eat, we have enough to drink, enough to wear. So, so nobody cares about others. Okay, so this is because of this, us mentality. That's nationalism. And qawmiyat Islam ki jad katti hai isse. So this country, or this called Islam. So Islam is basically the tent. Okay. So that tent is, what do you call it? unpegged, so it's because of this nationalism. Okay, there is no role of Islam left in this world in present day. There is no role that it can play. It's because Muslims have started following or started bowing before this idol called nationalism. If we can get rid of this idol from our societies and from our own minds, and we turn back to under this one tent of Islam, that's when we can unite humanity. Okay, I think that's the purpose of this Nazm. I don't know if I could I could clearly translate it like in the way Iqbal would have wanted it, but that maybe it's my thoughts today. But please share your thoughts with me, inshallah.